Welcome, everybody, back to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Takopi episode 6. The finale, as far as I understand.
Yeah. I just know it's going to be sad.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping if it's sad, I hope it's just sad and not sad and brutally violent and horrific, yeah. Or if it is, I don't know, something good comes out of it, because, yeah. I don't know. I'm scared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if I can take this, but we'll find out. We'll find out together. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. We hope you enjoy most of all. Check out Patreon for the uncuts. Let's go.
Oh, just a little guy.
Baby Chappie.
Oh, he's so cute.
いなくならないお父さん、し給食、意地悪のない学校。でも、本当は何が欲しかったんだっけ？だから、マリナちゃんをハッピーにするため、地球に戻ったのハッピーじゃないんだっぴ。何言ってるかわかんねえよ。異常に要領を得ないなお前。だから静香ちゃん探しに行く。目が覚めたらいなくなってて、東君は。僕は行けないよ。行けないんだ。僕はもう久世さんには会えない。お前と会うのもこれで最後だ。今いろいろ大変なんだよ。お母さんショックで寝込んじゃってさ。お父さんが戻ってきてくれてるけど、病院どうなるかもわかんないし、迷惑かけられないんだ。今日もすぐ帰るよ。お前にこれを。東君、言うんだっぴ。嫌だっぴ。行かないでほしいっぴ。もう会えないなんて東君は僕と遊ぶの楽しくなかったっぴ。楽しかったよ。じゃあなんで言っちゃうんだっぴ。僕がバカでわかんないぴ。何もわかんないぴ。だから僕はどうして今でも静香ちゃんに笑ってほしい。もうわかんないぴ。静香ちゃんは悪い子で痛いことするし、マリナちゃんをかなり優しくてパンをくれて一緒に遊び楽しくて、僕はわかんないんだぴ。
Poor Takopi.
なんで悪い子でいい子なの。そりゃそうだろ。いや、いいとこも悪いとこもあるだろ。
Stupid octopus.
お前だってバカじゃん。久世さんだってあんまり宿題やってこないし。じゃあどうして東君は。それでも3人で遊べて楽しかった。生まれて初めてあんな学校が楽しみに思う。友達だったからだ。能天気でバカでゴミだけど。
No.
使えないしようもない能なしで役って言ってくれた。バカだから本心だ。それくらいわかる。だからありがとうって言いに来た。これお前の道具なんだろ。勝手に持ってって悪かった。返す。
It was fixed.
一緒に過ごせて。でもやっぱ僕じゃダメだったもん。一人よがりで何もできなかった。助けてあげようなんて思うのが違ったんだ。ができなかったけど。東君、もう行かなきゃ。出してきたんだ。待ってって。なんか前と違う
He got glasses that actually
大きくなると目のやつ
work.
形が変わるんだっぺか。買ってくれたんだよ。最後のバイトだ。
Oh.
バイトクビになったから。純也、大学行けないかもしれない。東君。
What happened to Junior?
I wonder if he got fired because his brother was involved in a murder.
もしも次の僕に会うことあったら言ってやってくれよ。 兄貴と喧嘩でもしてみろって、バイバイタコピー。バイバイカズマくん。助けてあげようとするだ、きっと違った。
Oh. The sisters?
What?
Like her half sisters?
Oh. Did she kill her sisters?
So they were found safe.
Oh. Oh my god. Sorry. Oh, what?
保健所にチャッピー探しに行くの。人の胃の中も調べなきゃ。そんなことしたら保健所の人が人を傷つけるようなことしちゃダメっぴ。そんなこと静香ちゃんにしてほしくないっぴ。悲しいっぴ。静香ちゃんもそんなんじゃ悲しい。こんなに長い間一人で大変なの知ってるっぴ。だから静香。
No.
じゃあどうすればよかったの？人みたいな顔で私のこと見てたお父さん。どうすればよかったの？私だけのお父さんじゃなくなってたらどうすればよかった？船に乗っちゃダメって言われたらどうすればよかったの？なんていないのに。ママが帰ってこなくなった時はどうすればよ、ノートがなくなすればよかったの？言われてもどこが辛いの？見てくれなかったじゃんねえ。パパと好きな時に会えなくなったらどうすればいいの？だからどうすればいいの？シャッピーの声がうるさいってみんなに怒られたらどうしたらいいの？もし誰もいなかったらどうしたらいいの？ねえ、こういうこと誰に言えばよかったの？私のことなんて見てなかったじゃんねえ。全部一体どうすればよかったってお前言ってんだ。わかんないっぴ。ごめん。
This little guy.
難しくってわかんないっぴ。変だよ。なんだよそれ。どうしようもないじゃん。わんなよ。ハッピー握手だっぴ。なんだよ。ごめんね。ごめんね静香ちゃん。何もしてあげられなくてごめんぴ。理解しようとしてごめんぴ。静香ちゃんの気持ち僕全然わかんなかったのに。僕いつもお話聞かなくてごめんぴ。ルートしなくてごめんぴ。静香ちゃん一人にしてごめんぴ。うるさい。うるさい。静香ちゃんだってもうパパ戻ってこないじゃん。ママは私のことも好きじゃないじゃん。静香ちゃん。チャッピーも戻らないじゃん。全部ダメなんじゃん。静香ちゃん。ごめんね静香ちゃん。
The frog.
Bus stop. It's like Totoro.
Oh.
静香ちゃん、僕幸せだっぴ。こんな風に静香ちゃんと二人でずっと一緒に。それで、それでね、静香ちゃんに見せたいとっておきの道具があるんだっぴ。ハッピーカメラ。これで写真を撮って飲み込ませると撮った瞬間に戻ることができるんだっぴ。
What if it does?
What's gonna happen now?
静香ちゃん、実は思い出してたんだっぴ。一つだけ僕だから君にしてあげられること。待って、僕のハッピー力。待って、もう一度だけカメラが使えること。待って。
Whoa.
静香ちゃん、ものすごい笑顔にしてみせるっぴ。一緒にいられて幸せだったっぴ。でも笑えないのはやっぱりダメだっぴから。笑えるから。僕の大切な君へ。ここに欲しいものが手に入るように。じゃあ、ありがとう。一緒に遊んでくれてありがとう。仲良くしてくれて。あの時パンをくれてありがとう。ありがとう、静香ちゃん。さよなら。きっと君が
Sent her back?
なんだっけ。
Or no?
Yeah. But Takopi's not there.
静香ちゃん、静香ちゃん。起きて、静香ちゃん。とってもいい天気。こんな日は学校日和だ。学校っていうのが静香ちゃんが毎日行ってるところだ。忘れるはずないっぴ。君が教えてくれたんだから。それでおはよう、寄生虫。この子はマリナちゃん。静香ちゃんとお話ししてるっぴね。
She loves talking to Shizuka.
Oh, he like.
Everyone has like pieces of their memories, kind of like Takopi did.
Yeah.
New glasses.
Mm-hmm.
So he started talking to his brother early. 2016.
Now he's so cool. His other like good friends.
What?
そう、君はいつも一人。そしてそれは君も同じだった。パパは毎日怒って。全部お前のせいだ。全部。返して。あの頃のパパとママを。私の家族は。ごめんね。マリナ、何それ。
Just a little Takopi.
Catastrophically stupid.
That's a way to describe Takopi.
But I bet it does something.
Oh.
そうそう、それが一番大切なこと。何泣いてるのお前。ひなちゃんこそ。なんだよこれ。僕が忘れてしまっていた一番大切な約束。ごめんねママ。最後にお話できなくて。太陽系第三惑星地球2016年の君たちへ。あげられないことだらけだ。
Oh, Takopi.
Oh,
君たちの
Takopi.
離れてしまった家族。もう戻らない心。もう君を見ないママに。君だけのものじゃないパパ。何にもできないけれど、それでも君がもう一人じゃない。きっ と大人になれるように。ありがとう。バイバイ。
Bye bye, Takopi.
何見てんだよ。なんでもない。
That's nice. Maybe they really can be friends despite everything.
Yeah. What a nice ending.
Chappie!
Chappie! Oh, he's
He
so
didn't
old.
die!
マリナちゃんのママいつもやばいし、誰のせいだと思ってんだよ。聞けよ。これなんかに似てない？え？なんだっけ？
The pen you almost stabbed me with?
土星ウサギのボールペン。何それ？
The happy gadget.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They became friends, and Chappie didn't die, and Ozma, Naoki was honest with his brother, and his brother was able to keep his job and go on to do the clinic.
He didn't need a weird, like, codependent, psychotic relationship with
Shizuka,
yeah. He just got to have a nice, happy relationship with his brother, and friendships with other just normal kids that, you know, just want to play games with him and have fun.
Oh my god, guys.
I didn't know how they were gonna, like...
No, that was better than I could have imagined. That was better than anything I imagined. Like, it was so simple, but that's the point.
Mm-hmm. When Takopi was, like, dialing up the... Or even when Takopi first got the happy camera back, I was like... even if you go back, it's like you've gone back, like, 1,000 times.
That's what,
like,
yeah.
What could possibly be a satisfying ending that involves just going back when it didn't work before? But it's like the whole thing is like everyone just needed a little bit of a different perspective. Everyone, you know.
Takopi's dead, right? He sacrificed
so.
himself so the camera would work. Mm-hmm. And to make up for his original sin.
Poor Takopi. But he's still with them.
Yeah, he is. He's there. He's made an impression. And I just... Like, we've been dreading every episode of the show because we just love it so much. Mm-hmm. And, like, every episode is just so powerful, and they all have, like, it's just such an incredible show. But we've been dreading it, like, every week because it's just so sad, and it just felt like the ending was gonna just be, yeah, like, violent or tragic or, like, crazy or something, and just be too much. And then it was so the opposite. It was so, like, underwhelming.
That was just so...
But it was underwhelming in, like, a realistic and good way. And it, like, you know, just... Mm-hmm. It's, like, stop fighting. Like, you know, Takopi is, like... I mean, it's it's classic kind of time travel-y stuff. You know, you go back in time to try and fix the future... And then you know, fuck everything up beyond belief, and then you just keep trying to make it work, and then things keep messing up in different ways until, you know, you need to go back in time and then just, like, let everything happen. Mm-hmm. But it was different in that, like, you know, in another story, in another thing, it might be like, oh, we need to go back so that this person doesn't die. Mm-hmm. You know, which is kind of what it was. But then usually the solution is we need to go back and then let them die. Because then things can take their natural course, and as tragic as that is, that's kind of life. Mm-hmm. And what we need to do is stop trying to
fix everything
and act like there's a secret future where everything, like, is different, because what we have is reality. That's what we have. We can live in the real world and accept the real world and work within that, but we can't force things to be different just because we think it could have worked out if we changed one thing or whatever. That's like a time travel story in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. But in this case, it's the same kind of shit, but Takopi sacrifices himself And the lesson of, like, when they're looking at his thing, it's like talking is, or happiness comes through talking. And it's like, exactly. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
It's like that's everything.
And it's like the whole thing
it
with
doesn't
Takopi,
come through like fixing everything, like trying to fight everything.
Yeah, part of the thing with Takopi is Takopi didn't understand other people's perspectives, and Takopi would just get locked into one thing and act 100% in the favor of that at the detriment of everyone else. And that's how people, especially like children, especially like kids, like sometimes don't understand the concept that like other people are a person in the same way that they're a person. That's like a common thing. But even a lot of adults still never learn that or forget that or just don't find that to be an important thing, that everyone else has their own thing going on and everyone is behaving the way that they're behaving for a reason. And if you stop and you just like chill out for a second, you can realize that you have a lot more in common with other people than you think.
Yeah.
And, you know, like with Marina and Shizuka, like, you know, they just have this moment where they both see Takopi, but because of what Takopi has kind of instilled in them by, like, letting them keep a little bit of their memories, he's reminding them that everyone has a different perspective. And if they can just see each other's perspective for, like, even a second, that can change everything. Mm-hmm. That can lead to a better future, because someone else can't come in and force things to be better. It's every person has to be
oriented towards good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if they're not, sometimes there's not anything you can do. And like with her dad, and like that's the, you know, and that's what I meant. I think it was last episode where I went on the like, it is what it is. And sometimes that can mean something really terrible that's like unfixable and tragic and horrific. But that doesn't make it any less true. And in a way, accepting that makes it less tragic. Because like Shizuka, it's not Shizuka's fault that nobody cared about her and nobody looked out for her, that her mom didn't really give a shit about her, that her dad literally acted like she didn't exist to her face, that her dog was put down. That everyone else just like ignores the fact that she's alone. Everybody knows that she's alone, but nobody takes responsibility for it. Nobody like reaches out a hand except for like the one kid who really is just doing it because he thinks that's what he's supposed to do. And because he has his own problems. Like, it's not her fault. And I just really like, I didn't expect them to like fix the camera and go back. That's one thing. I would have even been fine with that future. You know, that was the more classic thing where like she comes back and they have this big breakdown, and then with Takopi leaving, she has to accept reality, and she's stronger for it because she's suffered and she can accept it, and she, you know, when he's like, I don't know the answer, I can't help you, like I can't fix your problems, it's not your fault, but it's also, you know, it's you know, Marina has her own problems, and Ozma has his own problems, and I'm sure that everyone else has their own problems, and it's none of that is your fault, and you're not bad for being where you are, or that nobody cares about you. You know, the way that was going, I was expecting that to be the ending, and for Takopi to leave, and it have to be like, you know, just believe in the future, and that's all you can do, and you know, with the idea that like you promise that it'll work out good in some way if you keep going. But then they turned it back, and it was like so much happier. Like, but I would have even been okay with even that tragic ending. Yeah. Because it's tragic, but there was, the way it was presented, there was still hope if it ended right there, or like in a little bit more climactic way. You know what I mean? I still would have been happy with that, but just this was so good. Like it was so much simpler than like all the hijinks that the rest of the show got up to. Like that, it feels like it should have been like an anticlimax, but it ended up being the perfect wave to ride out towards the end. If you know, like that's what it kind of felt like. It was like this crazy choppy waves for like the whole show, like these ups and downs, this fucking roller coaster, and then it got so out of proportion, like turning back time and going to that happy fucking planet, and then you think that it's gonna like crash against the rocks, but it really, you just ride it up onto the beach and it's just smooth. And but all that energy is still carried forward still, if I can use like a really weird metaphor for this. But like I think that's actually a good metaphor for it. That's kind of what the show felt like, and it ended in the perfect way. Like I don't like, this is a 10 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10 show. Every level, animation,
I just
music,
love the
everything.
fact that they took the right amount of episodes for it.
Yes!
They didn't
Oh my
we
god.
talk like literally all the time.
We've been talking about this since the start of the channel. Go on, sorry.
We talk about this all the time. It's like so many shows could have been better if they weren't stuck to a 12 or 24 episode, like if it wasn't like a this season, or that, a season or 2 seasons,
like a quarter of the year,
If they weren't stuck to that schedule, and if
it's
you
a fiscal thing, right?
If you could just be free to, then that's part of why I really liked, like, JoJo Part 1 was like crazy, but like JoJo Parts 1 and 2 were so good because they took like a traditional like 24 episode season and divided it where it made sense for that.
They didn't do 12 and 12. They did 9 and 16 or whatever it was, and both felt natural.
And that's what felt good for that. And 6 episodes for this felt good. If they had doubled the length, it wouldn't have been as good. If they had just made it into a movie, it probably wouldn't have been as good. Like part of what made it good was this 6 episode format.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that because, and like the animation was high quality the whole time, the story was high quality the whole time, like everything,
voice act,
was
everything.
just so good that it's like you can look at it and be like, this is like the people who made this really cared about it.
Yeah. And
you know, this is just how it was supposed to be. Yeah. It was just good, and the ending was so like, yeah.
Like
and the fact that they became friends, but it made sense, and it didn't seem too forced. It seemed like these two kids that were kind of at their breaking point, and one of them was taking it out on the other one. When they just had a moment of like, what if we weren't each other's like enemies? And what if we just cried together over our fucked up lives?
Yeah.
You know, we looked at this little octopus, but they're not just crying about seeing an octopus drawing, you know, they have so much emotions, and they're not letting it out in a proper way. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense that these two kids, like, you know, Marina has all her like, you know, popular friends and stuff, but they don't get it. They don't understand all the shit that she's going through at home. Shizuka is like the closest, you know, one of the other people who has a super fucked up life at home, and they can relate over that, even though it's not the same. And even though Shizuka's mom is causing some of the problems, it's like the mom's not really causing some of the problems. Like, I mean, in a way, like, but when you look at it in a certain way, but you know, they do have a lot to relate over. And yeah. I like the shot of them like later when they're in high school, and it's just like, oh, I need to get cakes for my mom because today's gonna be a rough day for her, and she's just like, every day's a fucking rough day for your mom, bro. Mm-hmm. Like,
it's so good they connected, because it just makes so much sense. Mm-hmm. And like it's such an unlikely thing. But, like, I feel like I've known people like that in real life, where, like, their families fucking hate each other, or, like, you know, their moms grew up together and they just fucking hate each other, like, but they, you know, end up actually getting along. And, you know, like, sometimes that happens, where it's just, like, people just kind of realize, oh, yeah, that person's actually, like, really cool. Mm-hmm. Or, you know, you understand each other, and then they just find a way not to blame each other for the sins of their parents. Mm-hmm. And all the fucked up shit surrounding them. And it's like, oh my god, just so good. And Chappie's there, like, they didn't need to do that, but a
good, like, you could tell he's like old and he's really happy, and clearly, like, every time when they hang out, they bring Chappie along.
Yeah,
like,
they just go like shopping after school, and then they just like bring Chappie along, and it looks like they go to the different schools. Mm-hmm. If they're in their uniforms. I didn't really realize that, but maybe she went to live with her dad. Probably not. Mm-mm. Or maybe they just went to different schools because they're different levels of education.
Or maybe they just, I mean, maybe they don't have like a specific uniform, because I think Shizuka was wearing that when she showed up to like the school
I think she was
in, like,
wearing
the
more
future.
like let's go back and check actually, because that would be an interesting detail.
Because they might just have to wear like a blazer and a skirt of any.
Usually they have to wear a uniform.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe for the show they just color coded them so that they'd be easier to. Yeah, so they're wearing the same outfits as last episode. So they probably go to the same school, but it's just a visual thing for us, and it's also black and white in the manga, so.
I just can't believe that it ended so, and the fact that Ozma didn't, like, that didn't happen, and that
and
was
that
able
he's
to be
not there
prevented.
too, you know?
Exactly. It's
Like,
like
yeah.
he didn't, part of the happy, it's like, so there's the 3 people in this, and part of the happy ending is that 2 of them become unlikely friends because they both have fucked up home lives and can relate, and they were against each other for like reasons that really had nothing to do with who they are as people. But then the fact that the third person of this, like, he was kind of more of a side character, but the fact that he was just excluded from that, and he was able to be, but that was what was best for him.
Yes.
That was what was best for him in this version of the best life that he could have, even with his mom being shitty, even with everything that he was feeling about not being good enough. The fact that he was able to have a satisfying relationship with his brother and have friends that aren't like codependent on him and he's not reaching out to them out of this like desire to save them, or because they remind him of his mom, or because they make him feel like he's good enough. Having friends just because he wants to hang out with them and they want to hang out with him in a pure, like, childlike, simple way. And, like, that's his happy ending, you know? That's just, it's so much better. And his brother gets him the glasses. Yeah. And
it's so, and that's, like, such a good small visual way to show across the different timelines. I love that. Because, it would have been so easy to just have him be there at the end, or like be waiting outside, or be walking by and be like, hey guys, you guys want to go get food, or what, like, just include him in some way, because it's like the wrap up, you know, like it would be so easy to do that, but it shows just how committed the author is to the themes of the story and the narrative, like the deeper meaning of it, and true healing, you know. And it's not even like about, oh, he had to like let her go, it's that like he was living for himself and not living for others because he didn't know how to live for himself, or he felt like he needed to, you know, he was like displacing all of the self-care and all the self-actualization on Shizuka because it was easy, because he felt like he needed to help other people in order to help himself. Like he just was able to live and not even worry about that, and that's happy. That's better for him, and it's better, and you know, like it's just and like, because it would be in every other series I could think, like in any normal series, the author would be like, oh, this is like the last page, let me draw all the characters, let me like give a panoramic shot or like a spread of them in the middle, and then a bunch of people walking by other places, or like them looking at that, or something, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a small thing that he's not there, but it's a big thing that he's not there. It's better
because not seeing him means that he is probably living a good life. And it's just, it's like that. And I respect that so much.
I respect that a lot. And now maybe he could date one of them.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be this weird thing where, you know, it's tied up with him, like, saving Shizuka, or, you know, maybe he does just, like, fall in love with Shizuka, and then they're together, and it's not this big thing where he, like, was with Marina, you know what I mean?
Or he falls in love with Marina, like how he did
and because
before.
there's not that attachment, you know?
But because he doesn't have this crazy thing with Shizuka, then, or he just finds someone else unrelated to them because, you know, maybe the only reason that he was drawn to them in the first place, either of them in either timeline, is because of
this weird Oedipal complex that he had, And it's so good. So fucking good. Like, this is an easy 10 out of 10. This is one of the best shows I've ever seen. You know? Like, easily one of the best shows I've ever seen. It might be top 10. Like, it might have dethroned one of my favorites. Because it's just, like, I don't have a solid top 10, but I have, like, a series of shows that I look back on and I'm like, that is unequivocally like a 10 out of 10. That's one of my favorites ever. This might break into that, because this is legit, actually maybe a perfect show. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, not forget, like, you know, we complain a lot about like fan service and sexual stuff. Obviously there's not a place for a lot of that in this show. but like they're, you know, with weird stuff with like, because they tackled relationships and complicated relationships, and there was like sexual aspects to things, like with Shizuka's mom being a prostitute or a hostess, whatever, a escort, I guess. You know, like there was places where they could have inserted something like that, but instead they showed like the opposite. It's like they showed Marina's mom be like, you know, she gained weight, and you see her be like less attractive, and that be shown not in a gross way, but in like a starkly real, like she kind of let herself go because her life is falling apart. Like it's so honest to life, and it doesn't it's the show that like it feels like an anime, but it doesn't concern itself with anything like that. It's just a faithful, honest adaptation of a work that clearly is just plugged into humanity and doesn't have easy answers and has something important to say. But it's not just important like, oh, we need to like similar how we talk about representation, you know, like we were talking about Hikaru, and I think there was somebody in the comments was like, I'm queer, and I don't really care about representation. I just care about like, if there is representation, like just showing what it's like to be someone, like show a love story from the perspective of a queer person or whatever, like themes like that are for the sake of communicating the feelings and the emotions and the experiences, not just to like check a box, but like because it is
an honest
story. Representation, like of a life, of a living of a life. And I feel like that's kind of what we get here, where it's not just this story isn't about shining a light on suicide or neglect necessarily. It does that, but because of the message that it leaves you with at the end of being so simple and so just scatters across the entire story of just like happiness comes from talking, it comes from communicating and being honest. Like that's the answer to every story that's in that's every micro story, every problem that's in this whole narrative, is that like if people talked more about it and were upfront and honest and got to the real truth of what they're feeling, not like Marina's parents where they're just like kind of, you know, the dad's like trying to manipulate the situation, or he's trying to like, you know, oh, you want to come live with Papa, or the mom like, you know, coping in various ways and just like trying to reach out to him, and he's not listening, and
and even with the lies about Chappie, oh, Chappie went to live with your dad.
Exactly.
It's like it would have been harder to hear that Chappie was dead, but she probably would have spiraled out of control in a different way, but she probably wouldn't have gone to Tokyo and then seen her dad and then wanted to start opening up people's stomachs to see if they ate Chappie.
Kidnapped her sisters.
Shizuka was in such a rough place that, like, knowing that Chappie died, she would have, like, you know, like,
if you're like, misaligned,
because when Marina told her, then it was like getting the rug pulled out from under after she already had hope. But like, you know, if her mom told her in the moment, but it's like it still would have been fucked up regardless, because the whole situation was fucked up, and there's no way that like, oh, just knowing the truth would have fixed everything in that moment. That's not what I'm saying. But there's just that's just a little bit of like part of the problem of this like lying or like not.
Well, it's like it is what it is. It's like, so Chappie's dead. Are you going to tell her? Are you going to lie to her? And then she's going to spiral out of control. Because if you're like choosing to sabotage somebody's relationship with reality, then you aren't helping them. Like you aren't like she's not being helped by being lied to about Chappie being alive, because the sooner that she knows the truth, the sooner that she can move on or work forward towards her life. Like, you know, exactly. Like, and it's like that doesn't mean it's easy, but it means that it's right. And that's important.
Yeah.
10
Very
out of 10.
good.
10 out of 10. Thank you guys for recommending this. If we passed this one up, I don't know what I would have done, but
yeah,
because this was actually peak fiction. Leave a like, subscribe, see us on Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
Bye-bye.